In this critique, we will go over the campaign, glance at the past two videos, talking about the problems, as well as the cut and leaked content, and to give my overall thoughts on the game as a whole in 2025. It starts off with you playing as young Kamala Khan at Avengers Day, which is basically a celebration of the Avengers and the lives they have saved over the years. We get a few small hints at the plot dealing with Terrigen, and we learn that Kamala has written a fan fiction for a contest, now has to collect comic books scattered throughout the event to get a VIP spot at the event. Along the way, she bumps into Thor, Captain America, and Black Widow. It's some nice interactions, but once you collect the comics, you enter the VIP area. And that's where the game really gets started. The show starts and in true Tony Stark fashion, he descends onto the stage as his own personal cheerleader. That's about the time a bomb goes off on the Golden Gate Bridge, and we get to take control of the Avengers for the first time, learning the basics of combat in the process. Finding that Taskmaster was behind all of this Golden Gate Bridge nonsense. Just as it seems we've won, an explosion is seen from the now falling Chimera, which just so happens to be where Captain America was. We're shown glimpses of a trial where Bruce Banner says he feels that they are unsafe for humanity. And then we flash 5 years in the future, once again in control of Kamala Khan. We find out her father is completely against the Avengers obsession she has and wants her to go out with friends or family. I wasn't entirely sure on that one. She instead goes to a hideout, which is quite impressive for a teenager, I might add, where she is in touch with a informant of sorts who goes by the name Tiny Dancer. She hacks into a website which I believe is either confirmed or implied that it is ran by Tony Stark, as she has to use a password being I am Iron Man. When she hacks in, she gains possession of video footage from the Chimera just before the explosion, but it's corrupted, and the only shows partial video of what appears to be George Tarleton, the founder of AIM, locking Captain America in with the explosion. For some reason, Kamala Khan believes the Chimera is in Utah with a resistance group, so that's where she heads to. Strangely enough, she was correct about the Chimera. However, there is no resistance group. She's almost murdered by the Hulk instead for trying to steal Captain America's shield. Once they make friends, she's able to show Bruce a video, or the video. The only person they know that can decrypt it is Tony, and he hasn't spoke to Bruce in 5 years since the hearing. So road trip it is. Upon meeting up with Tony, after he punches Bruce in the face for essentially ruining his life, they explain the video and slowly get him on board. They then meet up with Hank Pym at the anthill, along with more Inhumans, one of whom talks to Kamala about his mother being in the prison where they all came from. When she brings up helping all of the Inhumans, Bruce forbids it. They need a plan, and Kamala sneaks out and does the whole hero thing herself, but gets caught in the whole process. We are then introduced to Tiny Dancer as Black Widow, who has been doing an inside job on AIM this whole time. After she takes out Monica, the lead scientist of AIM, they bring her in for questioning, only to find out that Monica and Bruce have a history of a relationship, it seems. And they believe that Bruce will be able to use that relationship to persuade her to explain AIM's plans, but they really don't get anything of notice. Flying above the AIM event where they plan to unveil the new Adaptoids, the Chimera is attacked. They plan on breaking Monica out. A reporter is almost crushed by a falling aimbot, however is saved by Thor, who is passing by posed as a pedestrian. He flies up and joins his Avengers partners. When it's all said and done, Monica has been broken out. They have the full decrypted video now, which shows Captain America telling Tarleton to leave, showing Tarleton had been telling the truth, demoralizing the team and causing them to disband once again. Kamala feels there is more, so she reviews the interrogation of Monica to find anything that she can about the new AIM lab. She finally finds a small offhand comment which brings the team back together. Tony proceeds to create a suit to go into space, as the new AIM lab is a space station where he finds the cryogenically frozen Captain America. After rescuing Cap, it's on to the final battle with George Tarleton, who is fully transformed into MODOK, where the Avengers finally get in the good graces of the people. Overall, I enjoyed the story. It was passable, though I did find Kamala Khan to be overly annoying at the beginning. It's almost as if she grew on me as time went on. While I sped up the timeline in a sense, it felt very evenly paced, not too fast, not too slow. And it even included a scene that most may have overlooked. It caught me by surprise with how well it was handled. In the beginning, there's a group of teenagers who bully Kamala, basically saying she's not a real fan. She responds with a quote from a hero. I don't know the quote, I don't know which hero. And the teenagers didn't know which hero it was either. They asked who said that. She just looked at them and said a real fan would know who said that. We're seeing it more and more every day in the space of both Marvel and DC, as you have casuals who enjoy film, but are not real fans in the eyes of some comic fans. So that was a very nice touch. The Avengers felt like the Avengers for the most part. Unfortunately, it was in the story alone, as outside of moves, playstyle, such as Iron Man being good with range, Black Widow being very agile, and Hulk being a hulking tank, there's no weight to the characters. They all move similar. They all move at the same speed. And also, it's not a major point, but after playing so much Deadpool and watching Hulk versus Wolverine, hearing Nolan North as Tony Stark, seriously, all I hear is Deadpool. Which, it's probably just me. It's not a knock on Nolan North at all. He's an amazing voice actor. It just threw me off, some of his lines sounding so much like his Deadpool voice. I won't harp on the shortcomings or leaked content, as the previous videos covered those aspects, though I will say it lacked an endgame for the most part, which is odd, because what was the movie that came out prior to this game? Oh yeah, Bad joke, I know. I'm not trying to beat a dead horse. Get it? Dead horse? However, adding more monetization than content was a recipe for disaster. Each of the characters had a character pass, while the starting 6 were free and offered 1,300 credits upon completion. The remaining 6, Kate Bishop, Hawkeye, Black Panther, Jane Foster, Winter Soldier, and if you were on PlayStation, Spider-Man, were all 1,000 credits apiece. So you could theoretically have finished the first 6, purchased the last 6, and still had 1,800 credits left. But then add in the costumes, where the most expensive typically was the MCU based, that were 1,400. So you could get one costume and all the character passes. If you added up all the cosmetic prices, it was over $3,000 US. Now pair that with little content for the end game, you're simply running the same mission over and over again, but you look badass. Overall, if we'd gotten Captain Marvel, War Machine, and She-Hulk, I doubt it would have saved the game. It probably would have delayed the death for a few months, maybe even a year, especially if War Machine and She-Hulk didn't have a campaign, much like Winter Soldier and Jane Foster didn't. The game is fun and a good little time killer. I personally am a fan of the mindless grinding, where I can turn on some music or a movie and not have to think too much about the task at hand. Though its shortcomings are difficult to overlook, that being said, I purchased the game across all 3 platforms. However, I refused to buy cosmetics or character passes. This is the big thing now, where games will have you pay full price and then throw battle passes or DLC for cosmetics, whatever you want to call them, until they kill their game. In saying that, I completely understand. The cost to make these games keeps going up. The price has stayed right around the same for the last 20 years or more. So I can understand trying to make a little extra. However, the content to cosmetic ratio has to level out, in which I feel is ultimately what killed this game. Now that everything is free, if you can find a physical copy or get a Steam key from a website, I do highly suggest it, as it is fun and shouldn't be any more than $5 at this point. I played through it for these videos and have kept coming back just to mess around. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe, and comment down below what game you would like to see me cover in the future. I will catch you all in the next video.